Hi guys, today I am doing a long awaited video that you guys have been requesting for months and months since I told you I cut my own hair at home, and today I'm finally doing it. So this is a how I cut my hair at home video, DIY hair cutting, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to do this because you guys have been asking for it a lot, but I also want to say that I am not a professional any way, shape, or form. The way I learned how to do this was by watching like 10 other tutorials on YouTube and just kind of putting things together that I thought seemed like it would work for me, that looked easy. I went from cutting just the split ends off of my hair because they were so dead and not wanting to pay for a haircut to actually cutting in quite an angle and layers and everything into my hair. So I definitely go more above and beyond than I recommend doing. Just like when I talk about dyeing my hair at home, this is what works for me and I really like the way that looks. Obviously you guys do too if you keep requesting it. I just want to let you guys know this is a risk. If you're doing this at home, don't take what I'm saying as the end all be all. This is not the right way to do it. Do it at your own risk if you're going to do it, but it's just hair. It's going to grow back pretty quickly anyway, so it's not really a big deal to me. I hope that these tips do help you out if you were interested in doing it. All you're going to need for this is a comb or a brush, whatever suits you, and some scissors, actual hair scissors. Don't use your kitchen shears. Don't use scissors you use to cut wrapping paper. Use real hair scissors. These are called hair shears or something. They're from Conair. They're about $8. I think I got them at Harmon. I think they sell these at like CVS, stuff like that. You can get them at Sally's Beauty, I'm sure. Only use them for your hair. Don't use these for anything else. And then the only other thing is some kind of hair separator. I use these kind of clips. You can use whatever kind of clip holds your hair in. You can use a hair tie if you find that to be easier. And that's pretty much the only tools that you really need in my opinion. And I'm going to show you today not only how to trim any dead ends off, but also how to cut in layers as well as angles. So I do hope this helps you out, and if you want to see how I cut my hair like this and how I cut my hair at home, then please keep on watching. So as you can see, my hair is already styled. I know a lot of people would say cut your hair when it's wet or cut your hair when it's straight so you can really see everything that you're doing, but because this is how I wear my hair majority of the time, I've tried to cut it wet and tried to cut it straight, and I think it always just comes out better when I do it when it's already been styled. And I'm just gonna brush it through very gently. I'm not trying to brush the curls out. I just want, like, you can see the difference. There's like no knots on this side now. What I'm trying to do is, you can just kind of see the cut that's in my hair right now. There's a couple of random layers and a little bit of an angle right in the front here. I want my front pieces to be quite short, around chin length, how they are now, maybe a tiny bit shorter. And then I want this whole top layer to kind of be an angle of that. So it starts at my chin, then kind of goes down around here, and then a couple little other layers throughout. Now I style my hair in the middle. I have a part in the middle. I find that even if you end up parting your hair on the side, either side, if you style and cut your hair in a middle part, it looks fine either way. So we're gonna take just one of these clips. I'm gonna start off with my ears and just work my way up. I know this is not perfect in any way, shape, or form. And pull all the hair from the back to the front. So there's no hair in the back of my head right now. I have it kind of parted straight down as evenly as I can get. This is the kind of part that I care about the least. I really just want to get the dead ends out. So what I do is I just take all of it at once, which I know a lot of people would be like, oh my god, you're doing it wrong. I really don't care. And I just kind of go in between my fingers and go down really far. You can see how much hair is left there, I believe. So I just take about that much, and I'm over a garbage can if you didn't see that here. I'm just leaning over a garbage can like a class act, and to just take this, and what you want to do is just cut upward into the hair. I think that's the way to make the least mistakes if you're doing it at home. Instead of cutting like this and just cutting like a whole line off, which would look absolutely insane, you cut into the hair like that. Does that make sense? I hope you know what I mean. So I'm just going to cut a little tiny bit, and I'm cutting such a little amount off. This is kind of what you would do, just this little bit, if you just want to get rid of the dead ends and that's all you're concerned about. Just keep doing that until you've kind of don't see any more of those little scary pieces. And then I just kind of shake it, and that's it. That's so simple. And then I do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so I have a really small amount at the end, and I'm just cutting up into the hair. Then what you want to do, just to make sure it's even on both sides, is start all the way in the back and pull towards your face at the same rate, and if you let go of them around the same time, you know that they're relatively even. So next we're going to do our next layer. So let all that hair down, and depending on how many layers you want, I only section my hair off about 3 times, but if you want more layers, you could do it more. So now instead of above the ears, I go from the end of my brows. That's just the way I do it. So go from the tail end of your brows and use your thumbs and go right back. So I section this, grab all the way until the back. This is the hair I'll be cutting this time. I take pretty big sections just because I feel like that's the easiest to make sure it's uniform. This section, you can see it's just a smidge shorter than below, so I want to cut this quite a bit. So again, I'm going to take it toward my head, toward my face, and kind of angle it a bit because I do want it to be shorter in the front and longer in the back. And then again, I just cut inward. Don't even touch near your fingers so that you know you're not cutting off too much hair. When you do it this way, I think it's a lot less scary. You're less likely to make a mistake. And there you go. And I just pull pieces down, make sure they're even. Both sides. The side's a little bit longer right in just this section. So I'm just gonna go do the same thing just with a smaller section this time, just where it was a little bit longer on the side. Go right close, like see there's barely any hair at the bottom right there. And just by doing upward motions like this, you're getting a bit more of a layer and a choppy style. So if you like it to be really even on the bottom, I wouldn't recommend doing it at home. Now that's a bit more even on both sides. Okay, look at that. Look how even that is. Okay, and now the top layer. Now it did take me a while to get to this point. I'd cut my hair like 4 times in like a month just to get this part exactly as short as I wanted it. And I'm a person who's very addicted to cutting, dyeing my hair. You know, once I do it, I want to keep on doing it. So when I first cut my own hair, I loved it. I did it again 2 days later and then cut a little bit more, a little bit more. If you're like that, just watch out. Make sure you have some self-control and willpower. You can see how I have some layers in my hair, how I cut those in myself. I think they look really nice. But so now this is the top layer. So on the top layer, I don't take, you know, all of this usually. I don't grab all that and just start cutting away. I just don't think that's a good idea for the top layer. So if you're just kind of touching up your last haircut and doing a trim, this is pretty easy of what I just told you to do. And I'll take kind of like from where my ear is and up, and then take the top layer to the back of my head. That looks good, like that. Brush that through. I'm gonna take this all the way to the end. Hold a very tiny, this part you want to do even more carefully because you can see this part a lot more. These pieces right here, they're very choppy, but they're very subtly choppy. They're not like choppy like this, they're just choppy like this. And then I'm going to take half of what I just did and do the same thing, but so I just want this to be a smidge shorter. Very simple like that. And then before I move on to the front, I'm going to do the other side. And cut, and then take that top layer and all the way down, and cut. And then before I move on to the front again, take from the back and make sure it's even. Now the front part is probably the most important, is what most people see. So I'm going to take from where my ear is here, but you don't want to take above your ear. Watch what you're cutting there because that can really be messed up. So I took everything in front of my ear, and now from my eyebrow, I'm going to cut that back there, and then this part right here. Pretty much from your eyebrow up halfway to your ear, this bit. That is the part that you're going to angle. Now, if you've ever gotten your hair angled before, if you like that look, I don't like it angled all the way down to the bottom layer. I think that looks really, really 90s, like Jennifer Aniston on Friends. I like this front little bit right here just to be angled into the top layer. So what you want to do is be cutting more of this piece than of this piece. So instead of just going down like that and cutting it straight across, how I sort of was, although I was cutting up, you want to angle your fingers like that. So this bit is shorter than this bit. And then just cut a little bit more from the top. And cut a tiny bit down at the bottom. But you want to take it little by little. Like what I just did, you're going to want to do that around 3 or 4 times to really get the length off. You don't want to cut too much at once because you can't put it back. Make sure it's all equal. So grab here. This one's a little bit longer, so we're going to want to cut that just a little. Like I said, I think the best advice I can give you is go little by little. Okay, and now right by the face, you want that to be super, super even. You do want this all to kind of go into an angle, how this is. If you can see on both sides, I kind of have an angle going here. So I'd say I did a pretty darn good job. If you have any questions I didn't answer, please leave a comment below. So that was the end of my hair cutting tutorial. I do hope that you enjoyed this video and it answered some of your questions. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and I think that's it for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!